Hey guys, this is part 2. If you haven't checked out part 1, go check that out first. Are they laughing about Catelyn? Oh, no, no, no.
You sold it.
Hound, get.
Fuck off.
But I'm hungry.
What kind of coin is that?
It's worth a lot.
Oh, the coin from Bravos.
Where did you get the knife?
From you.
From you. How did you do that?
Is that the first man you've killed?
Nope.
The first man.
First man.
Next time you're going to do something like that, tell me first.
Tell me first. Not like don't do it. Tell me first. Oh, that coin. Oh, that's where she can go. John. Was that...
I know you won't hurt me.
I'm not so sure about that.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I do know some things.
Some things.
I know I love you.
Oh, no. Oh, oh no, no, no. Stop, Ygritte, stop. Oh.
I know how this must look.
Not my baby. He can't see.
What I meant
I swear to you, my lord,
I'm
we
not
didn't.
a lord, my dear.
His name is Sam.
Aww.
44 ravens at last count. Make sure they're all fed. Every one of them flies tonight.
Oh, to tell people about White Walkers?
On the first nigget.
Night.
Nigget.
Of the
Nigget.
moon. Why is there a G in night?
I don't know. It just says
The night watch.
The Knights. Calls upon you for
Rules.
what is it?
White Walkers.
My enemies have made my kingdom bleed. I will punish them with any arms at my disposal.
You do not need to burn the boy, if what you say is true. A drop of his blood killed Robb Stark.
And our king is still no closer to the Iron Throne.
He still wants to sacrifice him?
A great gift requires a great sacrifice.
Come on, Stannis. What you gonna do?
It is the life of one bastard boy against a kingdom.
Everything.
Is this some kind of trick?
Yes, but not on you.
Get him out. Get him out.
The gold cloaks are looking for me.
Oh, yeah.
They've been looking for me for 20 years. Do they know your face?
No.
I'd worry more about the red woman.
Yeah. They think Gendry is dead, so that's fine.
The
Let's
other
go.
way.
The other way. Oh no, he has no idea.
You ever been in a boat before?
Nope. But once. On the way here.
You know how to swim?
No.
Don't fall out.
Don't fall out. Are they back? They're back. Hi.
Cersei.
I, Stannis, of the House Baratheon,
No,
first
no,
in
no.
my name,
No, no, no.
King of the Andals, and the first men sentenced you to die.
I understand. But since you haven't yet unnamed me Hand of the King, it is my duty to advise you against it. You're gonna need me.
Take him away.
Well, I'm gonna need you.
I can read now.
It's coming. For all of us.
What is your duty? To be king or to...
When did you learn to read?
Mathers taught me before he died so I could be of better service to you.
Lies. He lied to protect his daughter.
The true war lies to the north, my king.
Wow.
Death marches on the wall.
You need someone to rebuild your army for you.
Oh
I've made my
man.
decision.
He's right. You need him. He has a part to play in the war to come.
You see, Sir Davos? You've been saved by that fire god you like to mock.
Oh, wow. Your freedom is not mine to give. It belongs to you and you alone.
Mhysa!
What does it mean? It means mother.
Oh, no, don't let them make them attack you. Oh my god, mother of dragons, mother of the liberated. These are your brothers and sisters. Fly. I don't know how I would feel about this. There is like a white savior kind of complex here. Jorah, he's like, I believed in this for a long time, but... Holy crap. I swear, if this show had someone like stab her right now in the middle of all this, I would be so mad. Mhysa. Mhysa Jar Jar Binks! Guys, bad news. I got spoiled. It was nothing big, but it is a spoiler. I got to the train station and there was a big fat ad like 6 feet by like 10 feet. The text said "For the Throne" and it was a picture of the blue dragon, I believe, which I've been told is Viserion. Except he's much bigger than I've seen so far, so... the whole picture was really blue though, so it's possible it's not even Viserion, so... Yeah, spoiled on the fact that one of the dragons lives till adulthood. Not that I expected any of them to die anytime soon, it's just... yeah. And the phrase "For the Throne" is so vague that it could mean anything, so... It could be fighting over who gets to sit on the throne, fighting in service of the throne, so that doesn't spoil anything. So it's not too bad a spoiler, and it was kind of unavoidable unless I went to a different train station, but there was no way of knowing. Alright though, the end of another season. I see you moderators hard at work. I see the comments in the held for review section. The numbers just keep going up. We have a new member joining our ranks, Corne Keitels. I don't know how to pronounce that. Thank you. I haven't actually launched Patreon yet as of this recording, but if anyone has contributed since I have launched, thank you so much. Alright, on to the episode. I can't believe what they did to Robb's body, and I'm sad that Arya woke up just in time to witness them parading him around. That was just really rough. And then Sansa had to find out too. We find out first that Arya was really antagonistic towards Sansa, like putting sheep shit in her bed. Quite creative, but so mean too. I didn't realize until editing that Sansa meant sheep shit when she said sheep shift. It didn't even occur to me that she was so young she wasn't even taught the word shit yet. And it was really nice to see her and Tyrion get along. There are just a few people in King's Landing that Sansa knows won't hurt her or abuse her. So Shae, the Tyrells, Marjorie, Loras, Olenna, and now Tyrion. But yeah, before they showed up, she was just so alone. So I'm very happy for her that she had a new friend. Or I was happy for her until Tyrion was called to that small council meeting. Joffrey was, of course, being a sore loser and trying to be cruel in whatever way possible, wanting to serve Robb's head to Sansa at his wedding dinner. Even Tywin had to get involved. Like, he had to step in and like rein him in a little bit. And as soon as Joffrey said that Tywin was hiding in Casterly Rock, his own face like dropped. He's still aware of how much power Tywin has, and then, like Tyrion said, Tywin just sent the most powerful man in Westeros off to bed like a child without his supper. Petulant little shit. I gotta imagine Tyrion really enjoyed that. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, Joffrey, definitely not the most powerful man in Westeros. Probably Tywin at this point. Tywin then justifies the slaughtering of the Starks at a wedding. But as we hear later on in the episode, to mistreat your own guest is a horrible thing to do, and the gods will not overlook it. So, praying for that sometime soon. Tyrion says the Northerners will never forget. Tywin thinks that's a good thing, as if he's putting them in their place. and giving them a warning for the future. And I think he's right for now. I don't see who can possibly lead the North for now. Edmure is locked up and his judgment is not the best. I got us a mill. Brynden Tully, Blackfish Tully? Possibly. Jon is the only one of Ned's children old enough and experienced enough to lead the Northerners to war. And even then, he wasn't trained as a leader, and he's also a member of the Night's Watch. And he's got his own problems to deal with. So it could be several years before the North rises again. Tywin then proceeds to tell Tyrion to rape Sansa by telling him that family comes above all else, and that he kept Tyrion alive solely out of duty to his family. He is so screwed up. The family legacy is going to be dysfunction and abuse. I feel like even if Tywin dies, his children have been so messed up by him that it's just going to go on forever. You know, actually maybe Jaime and Tyrion seem mostly okay. Cersei will continue to screw up the kingdom, I think, or screw up her children, or specifically Joffrey. So yeah, that's not going to be good. Robb is dead, and it's the Lannisters' fault. I thought Tyrion would have to be the one to tell Sansa, but she already knew by the time he reached her. It's not explicitly shown how she found out, but I figure that it's Joffrey being so pissy about being sent off to bed that he went to torment her himself. Meanwhile, Varys is looking out for the realm and does sympathize with Shae and her position, offering her diamonds as a way out for the betterment of Tyrion and the realm. But she thinks Tyrion sent Varys. I don't believe that for a second, but I understand why she thinks that way. She's spent her whole life being judged and tossed aside because of what she does for a living. For God's sake, her mother sold her when she was 9. I can't imagine. And then just like last season, people are given the choice to go somewhere that's probably better for them, but they turned it down. Arya could have gone with Jaqen, Sansa could have gone with Littlefinger, and now Shae could have gone with diamonds. Cersei tells Tyrion to have a baby with Sansa so that Sansa can be happy. It's pretty reductive. Like, not all women want children in the first place. This idea that children bring their mother's happiness makes a lot of people who shouldn't have children have them simply because it's the next natural step in life. Plus, Cersei is basically telling Tyrion to rape Sansa so Sansa can be happy. Yeah, okay. Tyrion seems sick of all this. It's what he's good at, but it sucks. So Bran's story about the guy who was turned into a rat by the gods is good. He didn't have any visions of Robb dying, but the story is rather fitting. It's like a promise to the readers and watchers that the Freys will receive their bad karma. And Frey and Roose Bolton are just yucking it up. I can't wait till those smug smiles get wiped off their faces. Roose also tells Walder about Ramsay in the north. So earlier in the season, Roose did say he was sending, or I don't know if it was this season, Roose did say he was sending his bastard north to deal with the Ironborn. So I assumed after the guy recaptured Theon that he was Ramsay. I didn't realize he had the rest of the Ironborn killed too, though. Though, honestly, what should I have expected from him? He's just that sadistic. The thing I wasn't sure about was whether or not Roose intended for his son to act this way, or he's just okay with it. Like, we saw Winterfell burn down, and I wasn't sure if Roose wanted that, or if Ramsay just did it because he wanted to. And yeah, before I started this series, I let you guys know what I knew about the show so far. It was that one line from Parks and Rec when Ben Wyatt got to sit on the throne. He was like, what was it? When you play the Game of Thrones, you play to win. Or you win or you die. Yeah. And the second thing was I saw a picture of a guy waving a sausage around. So when I first started the series, I had no idea that funny photo was going to be so terrible. Like, I wouldn't have put it past Ramsay to eat Theon's dick right in front of him. And he made Theon call himself Reek. I'm still going to call him Theon, though. It's important to refer to people by the identity that they decide for themselves, and Reek is forced on Theon. He didn't decide it for himself. So you saw how demeaning it was for Theon to have his identity erased, and I just have something to say about that. Like, trans and non-binary people have similar things happen to them all the time. Not with the torture on the level of Ramsay, at least not all the time. Though trans people are targets of violence at a much higher rate than everybody else in our society. So I get so pissed off when people refuse to even try calling people by their preferred pronouns, or they call a trans woman a man or a trans man a woman, because they're literally trying to erase that person's identity. They're saying, I don't care who you think you are, I know what you are, stop pretending. There's no difference between that and what Ramsay is doing to Theon right now. And I'm not saying people need to feel horrible if they mess up. Like, I mean, I screw up pronouns all the time. Not even with trans people. If you've noticed throughout my videos, I very often say he instead of she, or she instead of he, before correcting myself, even though everybody, I think everybody on the show has been cisgendered. I think it's mostly because my dad was this way, because he's a first generation immigrant, and it somehow passed on to me, even though I've lived here my entire life. But yeah, it's important to try identifying people the way they want to be identified. It's the same with sexual orientation too. Bisexual people are referred to as indecisive. Our freaking Vice President Mike Pence supports using government funds to treat people to change their sexual orientation. Asexual people are just going through a phase, or they don't know how good sex is, stuff like that. A lot of people are so hesitant to see outside of their own experience, and it winds up hurting others. But yeah, I actually thought Ramsay was keeping Theon just to torture him. Like, duh, of course he's a pawn in a political game. The Boltons are trying to use Theon to get the Ironborn out of the north, and Balon, wonderful father that he is, decides, meh, screw Theon. I threw him away once before, he can't give me any more sons, so what use is he? I hope Stannis' leech magic actually works, and it's on the way to Balon soon. But Yara has enough loyalty from the rest of the Greyjoys to disobey Balon and lead a rescue crew. So hopefully she can get him out of there. I can't wait to stop seeing Ramsay freaking torture people. Speaking of Stannis and his leech magic, he just wants to go beyond just using Gendry's blood and just straight up sacrifice Gendry. But Davos and Gendry's interactions were a lot of fun. A little surprised that Gendry was a virgin, but that means Melisandre was his first time, and I can't imagine someone's first time going much worse than that. And I'm glad Davos got him the hell out of there. Hopefully he gets to have sex with someone else who actually wants to do it with him and not, like, use him. Yeah, I'm glad Davos got him out of there. Davos always does what's right, no matter what the consequences are. I just hope it's not going to get him killed. It almost did in this situation. I loved him reading the king's correspondence, though. On the first nigget. Why is there a G in night? It's so funny. He also pulled a pretty ballsy move when Stannis ordered him to be executed. He's like, as hand of the king, I advise you not to execute the hand of the king. It's just really funny. But instead of being a thorn in everyone's side now, it seems like Stannis is actually going to do what's right and do whatever he can to defend the realm. So he just went from someone that I'm like lukewarm on to someone I'm really, really rooting for. Yeah, it's much better use of his time. He might actually go down as a hero when all is said and done. Back north near the wall, I was afraid that Bran and the others were going to be attacked by a white. Those sounds Sam and Gilly were making were actually pretty scary. Like, was it actually just like Sam panting as he went up the stairs? I thought he'd be a little bit more in shape after his trek above the wall. Like, he wouldn't be breathing so hard. Jon and Sam are best friends, and of course Sam recognizes Bran and Hodor. It's so sweet that Jon does that Jon mentioned Hodor. Also, Hodor's face when he found out Jon talked about him, he was so delighted. Sam was so willing to help Bran, and Bran was just like, let's go north to the wall. Sam does give them some dragon glass weaponry though. Mira with some dragon glass arrows. That's gonna be pretty cool. I kind of hope they don't have to use them, but I also kind of want them to kick some butt. I really loved that interaction though, Sam's group and Bran's group. I love the way Game of Thrones is such a huge story across entire continents. It makes it such a nice surprise when the story has groups of characters meet that we all know, and I'm like, I I needed this interaction, but it's everything. And Gilly and Sam eventually make their way to Castle Black. Gilly gets to stay, and she named her son after Sam, which is so sweet. I'm worried about her, though, in this situation. Lots of men who are forced to swear off women. I worry for her safety. Also, we don't know who is in charge now at Castle Black, because they didn't even tell us what happened after Jor died. Even if it's that Alistair guy, Rast and the others are still around, so it's not a good situation. But Sam finally gets to warn the rest of the realm about White Walkers. Finally. Arya, this episode, she just walked over and murdered one of Frey's men. I love that the Hound didn't say, "Don't do that again," after defending her. He said, like, "Tell me before you do something like that." So he's totally on board for killing people with her, but just wants a heads up so he can protect her. Really sweet. Now that I think about it, though, if Sansa had left with the Hound, Arya and Sansa might be together right now. I really want to see more of that relationship, especially since it seems like a very antagonistic sisterly relationship. Arya did show us the coin of Bravos, though, almost as if to nudge the watcher, like, "Hey, remember this?" So she has somewhere to go. Like, she can go to Bravos. But I don't know how she gets there. I don't see the Hound taking her there, but I really hope she gets there. There's so much to talk about in this episode. My God, this is going on for 50 minutes. That Jon and Ygritte scene was really powerful. They really do love each other. Ygritte is just so hurt and can only direct it at him in that moment. I'm pretty sure I cried. That's annoying. She knows she can't go with him, or she knows he can't go with him. She can't go with him where he's going, and he's choosing a life without her, so it's a no-win situation. She's just hurt, and I get it. Jaime and Brienne arrived at King's Landing, and the first thing that Jaime does is go to see Cersei. For all his faults, he really does love her, though I guess that can be seen as a fault too. Too much incest, but regardless of that, seeing two people who love each other reunite, I can't help but feel something towards that, you know? It's like, yay, they had their reunion. Now you can kill them both off. I'm just kidding. That was a really powerful scene at the end with Daenerys and the Yunkai slaves, or liberated slaves. But I didn't like the imagery of white people saving colored people. Like, how often in the case of actual history does that happen versus in TV and movies? But it's in our shows because white people want to see themselves that way. Like, look how nice Daenerys is, and she looks like us. Makes them feel good about themselves, I guess. There's also the fact that there's no really developed characters of color on the show. I think the most developed might have been Drogo, and he was painted as a savage, which is a whole nother subject. It's not to say that I don't enjoy this show, because I enjoy it so much, but it'd be nice if there were some people of color with a little bit more nuance. But yeah, I don't hold anything against Daenerys. Daenerys, as a character, is doing absolutely the right thing. She didn't have to free any of the slaves in Astapor or Yunkai, but she does it because she knows that it's right. So it's really still a really powerful scene. I can't let every racist or sexist thing get in the way of my enjoyment of things, or there would be very little left. That being said, we as viewers can definitely ask creators to clear a higher bar. Yeah, so this was a very good episode. I'm going to give it 4 dire wolves. Looking forward to the next season. So, end of season predictions. I've been doing 2 questions per season. The first is, who will wind up on the Iron Throne next? And my prediction is still the same as last season, I guess. I said if Joffrey died, I guessed it would be Cersei, but then I think it might be Tommen. But I think it'll definitely be Tywin will act as the ward if Joffrey dies, and then until Tommen is old enough, and then even then they're going to be controlling him. But yeah. And number 2 is who will die by the end of season 4. So last time I said that in season 3, Talissa would die. I thought she would die and Robb and Catelyn would live. But I did think that Walder Frey was going to try and get revenge. I did think she was going to have a child before that happened, though. And, man, actually, towards the end of the season, I was just like, oh, we're probably going to have I basically changed my mind. I thought we'd have Talissa, Rob, and Catelyn. I thought we'd had Talissa around for another 2 or 3 seasons at least. But nope, they're all gone. So by the end of season 4, I really don't want to say this, but I think Davos might have to die. He's just displaying all those, like, too many heroic traits, and I'm just like, look what happened to the good people on the show. So I'm sad. Hopefully we get a big villain death next season. That'll make us pretty happy. Maybe Joffrey will die. You know what? I would rather rather Ramsay die. Ramsay Snow. Because he's the I hate him a little bit more. But yeah, so I'm guessing Davos and Ramsay die. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you can't wait to watch the next episode, make sure you check out the early access option on Patreon in the link in the description below. I've actually got the next 3 episodes up already, so enjoy. And here's a video I promised about mental health. I'm recording this before I even know what I'm going to say in it, so it's a very sensitive subject matter. I'll see how vulnerable I get. History and lore is up next, and then I'm going to take a 2-month break, and we'll be back with new episodes in March. Bye. Just kidding. The next episode will be on Thursday. Bye, friends.